Greetings, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing today? I am the Moon Mama, and today is the day that Mercury rules. Mercury is currently at the end of its second leg of its retrograde. Every 88 days, we have a Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet that governs our mind and how we think, how we process information. It governs your perception, the story that you are telling about everything, the story that you are telling about how you feel, the way you're describing your life, the way you're describing others, the way you describe any experience is an action of Mercury. Your perception of something, how you think about it is Mercury. It's very important for you to know where Mercury is in your chart and how it functions, because Mercury is such an intricate part of our way of being that if you understand your Mercury and how your mind works, then you have power to actually begin to shift it. Hi TC, how are you? So I wanted to let you all know that I started creating monthly workbooks for the sun cycle. So Virgo will be the sun will be heading into Virgo in a couple of weeks, and you can get your Virgo workbook today because it will include the moon cycles that we're going to be in next month. It will also include the eclipses that are going to be happening next month, and the rituals that will allow you to ready yourself for this experience that's happening with the eclipse season that is occurring. And so I encourage you can go to my link tree and pick up that book. It's $33. For those of you who might want to have a more layered experience, for $77 you can book a reading with me with the workbook. And so we will do a reading and you'll have the workbook and you'll have all the things that you need for this eclipse season that is totally coming on its way. This is going to be a powerful eclipse season. So let's get back to, so that's the workbook. It is called Virgo Season. Let me just make sure of the title, because sometimes I be saying stuff and I'm like, is that really the title, or do you know? Do you really know what the title is? Let me get clear so I say it correctly. So it's Virgo Season, where devoted practices make dreams come true. And I love astrology so much and understand the mechanics of it. So Virgo is about practical application, and we're going to have 2 new moons in Virgo next month. We're going to have a new moon at the beginning of Virgo season, and then another new moon at the end of Virgo season. And then we're going to have a full moon in the middle, which is the Pisces energy. So that's why we're devoted practices, because Virgo is about the things you do on a daily basis that actually allow your intentions to come into manifestation. So the practices that we do on a daily basis so that our dreams can come true. And Pisces is the dreams part of it. So we will be in this incredible eclipse energy that's going to be really like stirring the pot. Like right now we're in Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules Virgo, and that's Mercury retrograde is a Virgo Gemini energy, and then we're going to move into Virgo season. So right now everything, the Virgo energy is being rearranged. Let's say it that way. It's being rearranged. So you might notice, what's going on in your life, in your home, with your health, with your practices. Are they coming undone? Are they unraveling? And that could be because we are moving into eclipse season, which means it's time to upgrade, to reboot, to activate new practices as you are evolving and moving into a new way of being. And I just saw this stuff, just makes me so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I just love it so much. I love it so much. I'm currently experiencing I have been in a lot of solitude this retrograde season, holding my energy not over communicating. I've been doing this, but I've not been talking to people. I have been containing my energy because I have an event coming up on Sunday. For those of you who are local and want to join us, Wild Blooming, the Wild Blooming event, women, for women who are local and want to join us, the Wild Blooming event, we only have a few more tickets left because we're selling out. It's going to be a beautiful sacred experience. Illuminiki is going to be there doing a clearing ritual for us. We're going to have guided meditation, tea, food, just a sacred ceremony. Like, I have always envisioned the world that I create, that I live in, is a place where women understand. Oh, are you flying out the next day? Well, come that day. If you're going to be flying out the next day, then on Sunday, come, because we're going to be there from 5 to 10. So we're going to be there in the evening time. But I've always envisioned a world where women understand their magic and their power and the necessity for it. Where we understand the necessity for us to function in our magic, and that the necessity is that we get the information to heal our bodies, to heal our families, to build community, that we understand our connection to the cosmos, to the spirit realm, to the ancestral realm, that we understand that we are the magic ourselves. We are the altar. We are it. And so that's the world that I'm creating. I'm creating a world where women understand our magic and our power, and how that impacts our lovers, our husbands, our children, our community. Because when you're a woman who's walking in magic and power, you know how to speak your word, you know how to vision, you know how to use your imagination, you know how to communicate with nature, you know how to work with the rituals of elemental stuff, and that is our power. And if we don't have access to that, then we don't have any power, which is what we see in the world right now, but that's changing. I'm a part of that group that's working to change that, to help us remember, to help us wake up to who we are. And so that is what I'm doing. And so, I've been creating workbooks. I've been doing this astrology work. I'm now hosting live events with other women. Like, this is a real thing that's happening. And all in the midst of Mercury retrograde, when everything is everywhere. It's like, oh my gosh, right? And so I'm just doing the work to hold my center and stay focused so that I'm not distracted, so that my energy doesn't go off to things that I don't give a fuck about. Because right now, I'm building my reality. I'm building the world that I care about, and I'm staying focused and true to that. So today is a Mercury day. Mercury is currently at the 5th degree of Leo. For those of you who are on my email list, who are in my Mercury retrograde YouTube channel, you are present. Like, we have been having this conversation. We've been in the work. And I just want to say congratulations, because we're almost done. Mercury is stationing at the 4th degree of Leo in the next couple of days. Sunday, it turns direct, or Monday it turns direct, and then it has 3 more weeks of the shadow. So now, what has been going on in your life? Pay attention to what has been going on. Where are you getting opportunities to grow more, to listen more, to translate a new story about old experiences? I know for me, what has been present for me is learning how to hold boundaries for myself. I have a tendency to be someone who is like, I can just be in everybody's business, talking to everybody, all up in sharing everything. I have historically been that kind of person, and I am doing the work to really be focused so that I am not sharing my energy in ways that doesn't serve me. And that has meant creating boundaries for myself, knowing my own limits, understanding, that my mind has a propensity to do certain things. Like the other day it's Mercury retrograde, and the joke is old lovers come back. And I have had a couple of lovers who are revisiting, and yesterday one of them sent me a text saying how much, that they miss our experience together. And typically I would really engage that and be in my mind thinking about it and, having conversations about it. And I just got the text and said, yeah, I hear you. And I'm good. You know what I mean? And that was it. And then in understanding the choice that I made, why did I choose to shift that experience? And one of the things that I have learned from paying attention in relationship and having a Mercury and a Venus and a South Node and Libra in the 7th house is that when you're in relationship with somebody, both people are in the same relationship, but they're in the relationship for different reasons. They're having two different experiences. And so I have had a number of occasions where partners have come back to me and wanted to reignite something. And I'm always like, why? Why do you want to reignite that? Because that wasn't fun for me. This is not that experience. It's not that what was going on for us but wasn't fun for me, but it's like I'm complete with that, right? So when people want to reignite things, I'm like, for what exactly? What did you get out of it that you want more of? And because when I hear them, I realize that I didn't get that out of it, and I don't want more of what I did get out of it. And it's not anything, it's not bad. It's just what is. It's like I'm complete with that. I'm desiring something else, something new in my life, and I don't see that I can have that experience with you. And there's okay with that. Nothing's wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's like I know what you got. I know your tricks. I know your I know your drum beat. I know your rhythm. I know how you function, or at least how you shared with me. I do believe that everybody can change and everything is possible, but am I willing to go in and do the work with you for that? Because that means me holding consistent to what it is I say I want, and when you're giving me back the old thing again, for me to go, no thank you, I don't want that, I want this new thing over here. So are you going to hold that agreement, or are you going to go back and revert back to the old way? That means that I have investment in the relationship. If I'm going to support someone in repatterning because they want to, that's another thing that I have learned in my experiences with people, generally men, when it's romantic. They have to be doing what they want to do for themselves. You can't change for me. You can't do what I want you to do. You have to do what you want to do. And if what you want to do matches what I want, then that's a fit. That's affinity. But if you want something, I can't convince you to want what I want and to do it the way I want it. And so then I have a choice to make. Do I want to engage in this or not? It's as simple as that. It's not even hard. It's not a big fucking deal. Right? It's like there was a time when I was younger and I would I would concede for sex or things like that. Oh, the sex is so good, so I'm getting this thing that's good, so I'll stay and deal with this thing over here. Sex is not that good to me anymore. I didn't have enough of it. I know how it is. I know how it comes in and out and goes up and down. I know all that stuff. So, and I've had incredible lovers. I've had incredible lovers where I've been like, what? I don't even, this man blew my mind. And it's still not worth the sacrifice. What? This is amazing. And that was a good 1 hour, or that was a good 2 hours, or that was a good 3 days, or that was, it is, or I'll come back for that. But it's just sex. I have studied sex enough to know that it's just sex. As a woman, it's just sex. I think men have a different experience, but sex is not a good enough experience for me to make concessions anymore. I got the info on that one. I'm no longer digmatized, right? And I've had some great D, but it's still just great D, and it just has its limits. Because usually it's connected to a person that is a full person, and do I want to deal with their full experience of who they are beyond having great D? And usually I do not. Usually I'm like, you can, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take it. So anyway, with Mercury retrograde, we have this opportunity to really revisit relationships and get clear about what we're actually in them for, especially with this Mercury retrograde in Leo, because Leo is about romance. Leo is about your romantic, your heart, how your heart flows. And so it's important for you to know, like, there was a time when I really wanted relationship more than I really understood. So I would sacrifice a little things that were important to me that I didn't know were important to me for the relationship. I don't do that shit no more because I understand what's valuable to me now. And the relationship is not more valuable to me than my relationship with myself. A relationship with another does not compete with the relationship I have with myself. So if I'm in a relationship with someone whose energy is distracting to who I am for myself, and that distraction isn't serving me in a really valuable way, like sometimes opposition helps us grow, like your muscles building and it helps you get strong. So if I'm in a relationship with someone and I can detect that this is actually supporting me, like I was in a relationship with somebody that people would call a narcissist for years. For years. That relationship grew me. God, it grew me. That relationship was the place where I was able to make the decision that I was going to show up for myself, because the energy of that relationship was so toxic that I had to make a decision. And I remember one time they called and I saw my phone ringing and I was like going into meditation. And whenever they called, the conversations would be so fun. Like they cooked and they were like a chef and a florist and like an incredible entertainer. So anytime I was with them, it was an amazing experience just because of their personality. So I always loved talking to them, and I would stop whatever I was doing to talk to them. But this time the phone rang and I was getting ready to go into meditation, and I saw that it was them, and I heard my voice say, I'll call them back. I'll call them back. That changed my life. That changed my life. All of a sudden, I was choosing the thing that was important to me, for me, that had nothing to do with anybody else, over the possibility of joy and pleasure and entertainment with somebody that was a guarantee. But I knew I had done it a lot of times already, and I knew that I was more curious to discover more of who I am than to continue to cultivate a relationship with something that I had pretty much exhausted. Like, I've already run this script back and forth. I've turned it upside down. It's fun. It's in and out. I love it, but there's got to be something more. I'm bored. Is really what it is. I'm bored. So you've got to know your own relational energy, how you think about others, how you feel when you're with others. That's your job to do. That's your responsibility. And with Mercury coming back into stationing, going to be turning direct on Monday, so we have this few more days. If you guys don't have the Mercury retrograde workbook, you can still get it. I know that you guys might think that it's almost over, but we still have 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde shadow. So you have time still to do the work, to do some of the work to really shift your energy. It's still available. It won't be done until the end of August. And so you want to take the opportunity to really get it in, really do that. And so what else? So Mercury, the moon is in Capricorn. The moon in Capricorn is asking us to get clear about what your lessons have been this month. Like, where have you been out of your integrity? Where can you grow? Where have you been in integrity? You know, I have spent this month literally staying in my practices. It's like, okay, it's Mercury retrograde. No matter what, do your practices every day. Wake up, do your meditations, clean your house, wash your dishes, nurture your body, stay centered in what you're up to. Don't allow yourself to be distracted so that your practices get washed away. Like, you know, one of the things in my working with clients And I often ask people, how's your spiritual practice? And people will say, oh, I start and I stop. Your spiritual practice is everything. You cannot afford to start and stop. You cannot afford to start and stop. I just need you guys to understand that. You cannot afford to catch this fly. Like, you cannot afford to let your practices, it's like having a garden and not weeding it, not pulling the weeds. You must pull the weeds from the garden, or the garden will literally die under the overgrow of weeds. The same is true for your own consciousness. I mean, let me just say this. When I hear people like, oh, I don't really have a practice. What the fuck? In a world that's chaotic as it is, how can you not? Like, what are you doing? Where are you if you don't have a practice? And the practice is whatever you say it is. It can be lighting a candle. It can be meditation. It can be, loving yourself. It can be spiritual. It can be whatever you say it is, but you got to do it, especially at this time on the planet where we are right now, where there is just sheer chaos going on. Unless you want to get lost, unless you want to literally lose yourself, which is an option, but know that that will be your choice because we are in a time right now that is demanding of us to center in ourselves. So your practice is the only way to do that. Otherwise, because whatever you're doing and you're practicing, whatever you're doing. My partner Gabrielle the other day, I heard her say, your rituals are just habits. I'm like, you're absolutely right. What are your habits right now? Your rituals are your practices. They are going to be the thing that anchor you. And with this Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries, you have got to ground yourself in a new idea. Our reality is changing, y'all. Like, I don't think, I understand I read astrology, so I have a different experience of it than you all. But reality is moving. It is becoming wiggly. Literally, it's mutable. And so you get to describe yourself, and what you describe will be who you are. The universe will begin to respond to you through the description, and the description because of frequency that you're holding, right? So if you're describing yourself as, I'm happy and whole and loved and taken care of and all my needs are met, I feel so good in my body, everywhere I go, everything's working out for me, all my needs flow easily, I'm totally alive. If you then you experience that. But if you are in a description of like, I don't have enough, things are wrong, then you will experience that. That is the shift in the universe, that it is becoming so malleable that whatever it is you're believing, thinking, it will be your experience. This is why you need a practice, because you have to hold that frequency. You don't get to just describe it. You have to embody it. You must embody it. And that's why I'm here often and talking about it, so that it's not just a fleeting thing, so that you understand, like with the nodes in Pisces right now, water will just float things away. Like if you put something in water that's moving, you go back and look a second later, it's gone. Sometimes I take oranges to the river and I put the oranges in the water, and the oranges carry all the way down, because this is a fluid thing. The energy is fluid right now. You have got to tell it what to do over and over and over and over again. You got to embody it until it's real, and then it's going to create a reality around you that's true to the signature of the frequency that you are emitting through your internal description to your holding. So it's up to you. You got to. I wake up in the morning and I listen to my objectives. I read them. I'm affirming it all the time. This is all the work I'm doing to make my reality solidified. To solidify it. I'm giving it as much energy and power as possible so that it will stay, so that it will get rooted. And you are the best. Always dropping wisdom. I was thinking about how I'm not consistent enough. Yeah. You've got to get consistent. It takes consistency. It really does. It really does take 9 to 10 months to get something rooted inside of you. And it really takes 2.5 years of consistent practice of something to really become something else. And this is just based on how the astrology and the psychology works. It takes 28 days to like convince yourself that you're in it. And then it takes 9 months of doing something regularly to bring it into experience. And then after bringing it into experience, it takes about a year and a half to grow it and make it be. It's like growing a tree, right? You put the seed in there, then the tree grows. It might not bear fruit for a while, but then maybe after a year or two, it'll start bearing some fruit. That's the same with humans. It's the same. You gotta stay consistent. I don't know. Everybody's different with breaking a habit. I think it takes 28 days to begin the process of breaking a habit. It just depends on, because here, habits, addictions, what is it, right? Like, everyone's different. Everyone's different. The science says it takes 28 days. It has taken me longer than 28 days to break habits. It does. It takes me probably about 3 months to break a habit that I'm really trying to break. A habit that I'm like, oh, this has to stop. Like, I had a habit of being a messy person in my house. Like, I recognized that I didn't put things back. Like, things would be where I left them. And I lived by myself. So I was like, oh, the jar of coconut oil is still where I left it. Oh, that watermelon seed is still on the floor. You didn't pick it up. Oh, that towel. You know what I mean? Like, I just recognized that I didn't put things away. And so I had to break a habit of being disorganized. And that took me about 3 months. It took me about 3 months to do, of consistently, daily, cleaning, putting things away, picking things up, consistent. It took me 3 months. So it's different for everybody. There's no one way. And so, because you're young, don't get in the habit of looking at other people. To look at your own patterns and see what it takes for you. Nobody can tell you. If somebody tells you it takes 28 days, and then if you don't have it in 28 days, or you have it in 15 days, that's somebody else's system. That's not your system. Find your own system. And that's what I'm here to say. Create your own system. So, okay, you guys, I think that's enough information for today. We are in the Mercury day. Mercury is in the final days of retrograde in Leo. We have had an opportunity to do a lot of work. If you are not on my email list, please go to my profile, sign up for my email list, and my profile link here in my link tree, and you will get the emails that I'm sending out regularly on the astrology and the Mercury retrograde and all of that. I would love to have you on my email list, and then you'll know my new services and things that I'm offering. And if you are ready to prepare for eclipse season that is coming, I encourage you to go into my link tree and purchase the Virgo season workbook, where we will have the rituals and the information and the astrology for eclipse season in Virgo and Pisces. That's coming starting on August 22nd. So that workbook is in preparation for the work that begins on August 22nd through September 21st. I'm going to be having a workbook for each sun cycle that will be available. So Virgo, and then Libra, and then Scorpio. And I'm so excited. It's so much fun to give you guys this information, because this is the stuff that I'm passionate about. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I love you. Bye-bye.